Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me and you, and I love this part. We're here together. That's what matters, despite the freak show. We have a lot to talk about. I was scribbling down notes all day. Before I forget, this is my post market wrap up. I'm laughing. Status post hearing from the thing today, March 7th, 2023. All right, people. Before we do a little recap of the ultimate freak show, and I mean it literally was the ultimate freak show, pretty much what you and I would have expected, the usual rear end kissing, uh, for the most part. All right, there were a couple of moments where Powell was put up against the wall and he was squirming in his chair. He didn't know how to answer. He didn't know what to do. Oh, what do I say? You know what? We'll cover all that later. But all right, so let's just reflect on a few lovely things. So this stock market got blasted today. Uh, the MMRI broke 260. I'm going to tell you again. I'm going to tell you what you already know. Why am I telling you what you already know? Because I like to do that. What you already know is with something needs to be done. Okay, I believed it looked to me. Okay, Sunday night when we had some kind of issue going on in the debt market, all of a sudden debt started getting bought up, 10-year yield dropped, MMRI was 253 after hitting almost 260. It was like, hold on a minute. They're starting to take some action here. And throughout the day, that it just didn't play out right for them. Look, they're buying the debt and they're buying the market, but it's not enough. It can never be enough. Never be enough. It doesn't matter how much central banks buy. It's not enough. Again, the issue here is so monumental. It's bigger than every single central bank combined. And that's why eventually this thing is going to explode. And I mean explode. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. Anyway, so stocks get blasted. Did you watch the relative strength of the dollar today? The relative strength, comparative strength of the dollar. I mean, it took off. It really, really did after it was opening up its pie hole, spewing all kinds of nonsense and deceptions and distractions and, getting all squirmy in its seat there. And my hat's off to a couple of those senators there that really did put the man in his spot. Oh, I wish I had the opportunity to talk to him. I wish I had the opportunity to talk to Fed Chair Powell Yellowstone freak show. Okay, so on the back of the relative strength of the dollar ripping higher, gold and especially silver got hammered. Crude oil fell under pressure. Commodities, for the most part, fell under pressure again. Why? Well, that's just how it works. When you get this issue with the relative strength of the dollar kicking up, it weighs on commodities. You all know that here. The big story again was this debt market, and when it was speaking, you were watching the MMRI just go bang, 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 bang. If we continue to go bang, 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 well, you can only imagine where this market's going to go. To put that into perspective here, the Dow Jones Industrial Average just went negative for the year. The S&P 500 just broke under 4,000, that mythical line in the sand. Well, we'll see how that plays out. All right. We need to watch risk. I've been explaining to everyone, we've discussed it right here repeatedly. Limit your exposure to the long end of this market. Limit your exposure to the long end of the market, meaning owning an asset that only makes money when the stock market goes up, especially if you're not being paid to own the asset. Okay, you want to be at least on the receiving end of a dividend if you're going to own a company or an exchange traded fund. I've covered this a million freaking times here. I think we all get it. Thanks again, Tyler here. Anyway, let us move forward here. So we found out a couple of things before, again, we talk about Powell. All right. So on the economic front, I love how they play this up. Consumer credit is higher. Oh, it's looking really good. Consumer debt, People have no choice but to take on more debt, and they continue to pile it on. Thank you, Mrs. E. Very nice. So consumer credit continues to expand. Oh, this is a beautiful thing. No, how is it really? Look, people have no choice right now. And it's part of the mechanism as to what the Fed itself is doing. And some of our senators actually understand it. Okay. Deliberately slowing the economy, for which Powell actually admitted that. Oh, the economy has slowed dramatically. Okay, he's admitting that. But then he got hit with a couple of senators saying, hold on a minute, sir, you're slowing the economy, but it's hitting the consumer. You're hurting the consumer. And he's like, well, it's not what we meant. We don't really want to do that. Of course they do. They want to crush the consumer. Let me explain this to you in case you don't know. Thank you, CB Housley. You may not, I've repeatedly said, and I've heard from, I don't know how many of you, thousands, about how we need a revolution. We need, some kind of revolt in this nation here. Bruno, thank you. Okay, why are we not getting it? Because people want their checks from the government. They have created enough dependency on their system that there is no way on this earth, off this earth, and probably even with divine intervention, okay, which ain't happening anytime soon, so don't hold your breath here, that the people who are dependent on the system are going to revolt against the system that they're getting paid to support. You understand? That's what this is. And you haven't seen anything yet. They are going to create much more dependency on the current system. So you and I, for the most part, we're not dependent on their system. Did you hear the fear when they're discussing cryptocurrencies? The fact that Yellowstone himself and several senators out there made it pretty clear that they fear cryptocurrencies. Well, that should tell you something. For those of you that don't like cryptocurrencies. Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Where's my stimmy? Exactly, D. Brum. You're 100% right. That's all we care about is sucking off of the tit of the government, okay, of the government, and get those freaking checks and stimulus things and whatever else they're doing, creating so we're not going to get a revolt. We're not going to get a revolution because these people, for the most part, are all dependent on it. Thank you. Mess this up. I'm going to Vandenway Bjorn. Anyway, people, look, we are just frankly in all kinds of trouble here. So consumer credit continues to expand, meaning consumer debt continues to expand. And you know this better than anybody because we've been discussing this over and over again. Consumer debt, household debt, personal debt, every kind of debt you can imagine. People's debt burdens is going to balloon from here. And people have no choice, okay? Oh, people are spending. They're spending. So this is a really good sign. Viking as above, so below. Thank you. Anyway, look, you can't make any of this stuff if you try to. There's no possible way. And what we're seeing here, the stage has already been set. It's going to get a lot worse. Now, with that said, I don't want to spend too much time on this here. The fact that people are borrowing and they can't make ends meet here, the creation of dependency on the system is out of control. So this is why, again, why we'll never have a revolution or a revolt. These kinds of things existed when people weren't dependent on the system. And we have too many people dependent on the system, again, sucking on the tit of the system. You understand? Anyway, with that said, people, let us move forward. So this is out of his own mouth. Powell, vomitous mass. U.S. economy has slowed significantly. Okay, I think we're on the same page. Yes, sir, we've slowed significantly, and that's because he's killing the economy. Central banks collectively, nobody knows this better than you, all of you who are here right now with me. I've been telling you for I don't know how freaking long that that's exactly what's going on, and it's going to get a lot worse moving forward. They're killing the economy, and how do they kill the economy? How do central banks kill the economy? By killing the consumer, and that's what they're doing. Home affordability at a record low. Food inflation continues to rip out of control. You think this is going to stop anytime soon? Oh, wait till energy really starts to get going. You haven't seen anything yet. Not even close. He also explained that production is slowing. Duh. We all know this already. We don't make anything. One of the senators brought that up. We don't make anything in this country. That's why we got the trade deficit ballooning by design. Okay, we have such a restrictive policy here for businesses to thrive. Again, thanks to Mummy Man himself out here. This is why, unfortunately, we've outsourced manufacturing to everywhere around the freaking world, including China. Duh. Pretty straightforward here. Anyway, and I know you're paying attention to this. Thank you, Crypto King. Yeah, we're going to get on that. Absolutely. I don't know how many of you are watching, and something that I watched, the spread between the 2-year and the 10-year. Well, it's out of control. This is a clear sign. Look, do a little homework on this and don't take Greg Mannarino's word for a thing. Okay, honestly, nothing. Look this up for yourself. This 2 to 10 spread, the wider it gets, the more likely it is that we are moving towards the greatest depression. That's exactly what we're doing. Gotta pee a lot. Thank you, gotta pee a lot. Maybe you need to see a doctor about that. I don't know. It's funny. So anyway, yeah, watch that. Look, we don't need any big bank or any freak out of the Federal Reserve to tell us what we already know. But it's interesting to see it develop in front of our face, because you know what? You and I are ready for it. We're ready for whatever they want to throw at us. Now, they were talking back and forth, the senator this and this senator that, and it in front of them, about the tools that the Federal Reserve has, and he kept going on about tools, how they have the tools to control the inflation. You understand what I'm talking about? But the one thing that was not mentioned at all was a shrinking of the money supply. Oh, imagine my shock! Thank you, ZX Hondo. Bullish on lead and brass. Yeah, I think you're about right there. But look. It's way beyond that too. But anyway, that's the situation. They have all the tools, but they won't talk about the number one tool that they could use. Oh, that was interesting too. We'll get to it. But how he was explaining, Yellowstein was explaining that the banks here, their capital reserve requirements they're good. They're actually great right now. They're at zero. Okay, most people don't even know that. Anyway, what else can I tell you here? It's unbelievable. Let's move forward here, lovely people. Let's throw that out, because I'm going to go back and forth to it. Thank you, Melanie. So anyway, let us, on top of the usual, I'm just gonna say this real quick. On top of the usual pandering, the thank yous and the bless you, sir, for being here and allowing me to talk to you. I can't believe that I'm in the same room with you, Yellowstein Powell. I mean, sir, why don't they just call him the Great One? High exalted mystic Great One. Should they get down and kiss your feet? That was the majority of it, but there were some, again, that didn't, that gave it to him here. And he got so uncomfortable when he was asked about, the photo. No, we're not trying to force people out of work. Yes, they are. Thank you, Chris Williams. This is exactly what we're talking about here. He was squirming, the little worm of a man. It's not even a man. It's not even a human being. It's squirming. No, we're not. No. Yes, nonsense. And we're going to see waves of unemployment, waves and waves and waves of it. You can't make this stuff up, honestly, here. Here was another one. Do you agree with this? I want to hear from you. Do you agree? So Powell said, inflation in goods is coming down. I don't see that anywhere. No, goods inflation is not coming down. Inflation in aggregate continues to rise. But he can't let you know the truth. He has to tell you again that what you're seeing with their own googly eyeballs is not real. Well, what else would you expect here? Honestly, you can't make any of this stuff up. And let me ask you this too. Well, while we're all on the same page, and I think we're all friends here, all right? Why is it really, again, and not one of our loving, caring representatives brought this one up. Thank you, Carlos. So the Federal Reserve has a mandate to maintain price stability. That's their job, number one. And two, maintain full employment. Okay. Why is it that it was not brought to the attention of the Federal Reserve chair, while he was right there before our loving, caring representatives, that they have absolutely miserably failed in their mandate to maintain price stability. And then let me ask you while we're on that topic, why is it, do you think, that not one senator, not one, brought up the fact, how is it, Mr. Chairperson? I'm going to be nice. How is it, Mr. Powell, Fed Chair, high exalted one? How is it that all of you at the Federal Reserve were so wrong about being data dependent, and you will act appropriately to make sure you maintain or achieve a 2% inflation rate? Meanwhile, they overshot that by like exponents. Why is it that not one of our senators brought that up? Okay. Price stability mandate, out the freaking window. You don't hear a damn thing about that. He'd be squirming in his seat. Oh, oh. And why is it that they got it so wrong? You know why? Because they didn't get a damn thing wrong. This is exactly what they wanted to do. Inflate some more, create inflation, and make sure it goes way out of control so they can destroy the middle class, or they wipe out the global economy, because these central banks, they do coordinate because it came out of its mouth. Not at this meeting, but it did come out of its mouth. Its mouth. The man did nothing but lie and distract. He should have been put under arrest. The man should be freaking arrested. He won't be, because he's the boss. You understand that? That man over there is the boss. He runs the world, okay? It's pathetic, disgusting, vomitous mouth. Give me 5 minutes alone in a room with that man. Just 5 minutes. 5. He would come out looking a lot different. I can promise you that. Anyway, Powell, wages have been moderating. Wages have been moderating. Let's see. Real wages have been cratering, falling through the freaking floor. That is what people are earning based against the actual rate of inflation. But they're moderating. I love how they use these words. It's moderating. Let's moderate him, okay? He needs to be moderated. Let me tell you something. It just drives me out of my freaking mind. And you know what else bothered me? I want to bring this to your attention as well. Again, we are all friends. There are over 2,000 people watching this live right now. So I want to hear from you. What made me the most disgusted, literally, I wanted to throw up in my pail here. I have a garbage pail over here, was how we had several senators go out of their way to say how important it is that the Federal Reserve remain independent. No oversight. So we had several senators came forward trying to explain how, yes, sir, your high exalted mystic one, we understand how important it is for the Federal Reserve to maintain completely independence. So we have no responsibility at all. The American people, oh, they're nothing. They are dog, S-H-I-T. And you, sir, can maintain your total independency while you destroy the people. That's what's going on here. I am sweating like you can't even believe right now. So no talk at all. I mean, about the things that really matter, no talk at all. About, again, maintaining price stability here. Nothing. Just zero, because they've miserably failed in that. How they could have gotten it so wrong, because they didn't, okay, with regard to inflation. And they must remain, the Fed must remain independent. It's so absolutely critical to the security of the United States and for the American people to prosper. The Federal Reserve must absolutely remain independent. You've got to be kidding me. See, the people who said that, those senators, they should be immediately excommunicated from their jobs, okay? I'm telling you, people, it's out of control. We're not going to get a revolution. We're not going to get a revolt, okay? Because the people, again, are too dependent on the system. They've set it up that way. You all know this. It's out of control. All right, look, this is a really long video, so I'm just going to do a couple of questions with all of you, and we're going to call it, because I've really just about had enough, honestly. Yes, Scott Heller, you are 100% correct. F-U-K, the Fed, and they got us all by the throats. By the throats, people. It's just so freaking sick to me, honestly. Yeah, but the Fed must remain independent. They must absolutely remain independent. With no oversight, people. You gotta be kidding me. Sorry about Coco. He's outside, I think. I don't know actually where he is. Actually, I think he's being walked. I think my wife's walking him. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, no oversight equals they're going to continue to inflate. They're going to continue to destroy. I'm reading here a comment from Guitar Zen 70. No oversight equals ability to inflate. They're going to continue to inflate, and they're going to tell you, they're going to dictate to you and dictate to all of us that what we're seeing is not real. It's not real. This is what's actually going on. I don't care what you're seeing. No, no, no. We're telling you what's really going on. I mean, again, it's insane. It's utterly insane. Why do we need the Federal Reserve? We don't. Why should they maintain this absolute independence? I don't know. Ask those freak senators who said that that's just so important. It's just so important to maintain security of the United States, to maintain the viability of the American people who are being systematically erased. If you're a member of the middle class, you're just done. You're just done, honestly. And people just doing nothing. Why? Because they're dependent on the system. But we haven't seen anything yet. Wait till this ball really gets rolling. You think today was a mess here in the stock market? I can promise you, gauging from what we're seeing, if they do not, I'm going to tell you again. I'm going to tell you something you already know because I like to do that. If they do not stabilize the debt market, forget about the stock market. Forget about what's going to happen to this freaking stock market, okay? It's going to crater. Look, they're in a spot right now, but they've created it on purpose. Okay, they're going to get in here probably, maybe not, and try to stabilize the debt market. But what does that mean? They're going to get in here and buy. And how do they do that? They got to create cash magically out of thin air and buy more. Okay, to do that is massively inflationary. Do you understand? They can't tell you this. Anybody can't tell you this. Our lovely, caring senators can't tell you this either. Not even the ones that really did put him in a spot there. Oh, no, we want to slow the economy, but we don't want people to lose their jobs. Really? That's not what Neil Kashkari said. That's not what the other freak, one of those other freaks said. Oh, no, people need to lose their jobs to slow down, for inflation to really get better. People need to lose their jobs. No. It has nothing to do with us contracting the money supply because that would really work. Now, we can't contract the money supply because we want to continue to inflate, but you're not supposed to know that. All right, people, look, this video is 22 freaking minutes long. Look, this guy here loves you from the heart. We're a team. We're a family. We got each other's back, period. All right. I will never let you down. And I know you won't let me down. And we got each other, and we got to love each other, care about each other, be charitable. The same things I tell you every single Friday for years and decades. Now it's been over a decade. All right. With that said, people, I'm going to get going. I will see all of you in the morning. Just remember this. You know who the enemy is. You know who the enemy is. It seems like some of our senators forgot that. All right. I have no idea. All right. I will see all of you in the morning for my usual pre-market, and we'll resume this live thing tomorrow. Sorry I didn't get a chance to answer a lot of questions with you because this video ran really, really long today. All right. I'll see you in the morning. Please love each other. Please care about each other. Please be charitable. We got each other's backs. It's what we got. All right. I'll see you.